My name's Robert Hoelscher. I was born in El Campo, which is about an hour southwest of Houston. When I was 3, our family moved to Houston. There were 6 children, my mom and my dad, and my dad was a manager of one of the early 7-Eleven stores. And back in those days, the convenience stores were wide open, and I would go to work with him. This was a little shirt that my mom made for me when I would go to work with him. But one night, it was on an April night, a young man who was mentally unstable came into that 7-Eleven and shot my dad with a 12-gauge shotgun. I was 7 years old at the time. And many years later, I was to learn that my mother, only 2 days after that happened, called the parents of this young man and forgave him. And she told them that hate would not bring my dad back, and that she, my mother, also had sons. This young man had a brother, and the 6 of us in my family, me, my brother, and 4 sisters. I was to learn that after my mother had died from cancer, from a lifetime, from a point not too long after that tragic event happened, becoming addicted to alcohol and nicotine. She obviously bore the brunt of what had happened, and as a result, being as young as I was, I grew up not really understanding a lot and had a very distant relationship with her. But it was in learning about that moment of just, to me, unimaginable courage and empathy that I had a whole new insight to this woman as a human being and to the memory of a mother that I can now carry with me. I came to actual work in the death penalty through the work that I did being the co-founder of Innocence Project New Orleans, and learning about how wrongful convictions happen and the terrible mistakes that we make in the name of justice. As I got deeper into that work, I also became involved with Murder Victims Families for Reconciliation, which is a community of murder victim family members across America who choose not to believe in the death penalty for any reason. The 2 simple messages I would like to share for anyone trying to have a discussion about this is within this area of victims, because we see the death penalty invoked time after time on behalf of victims, that this is something that victims need, that this brings different things or benefits to victims. There's no doubt that the feelings of victims and victims' family members run the entire spectrum. But there's a growing number of victim family members today that do not see and have never seen the death penalty as the solution to violent crime. And it's important to know that when you speak to other people, that there are victims out there that see it differently. And there are people like myself that have not lived a life connected, whose fate was connected to the fate of the perpetrator. I did not grow up being attached to what happened to this young man, even though I have followed him It was not a death penalty case. He was sentenced to life in prison. He's still in prison in Northeast Texas. But the healing that I had to do was not linked to his fate. It was something that I had to do for myself. I had to build my own life, be responsible for what I made of it, and the criminal justice system had to step in and do what was necessary in that case. So that's what I would like to leave you with, is that there are victims' family members that oppose the death penalty, and there are victims that do not live their lives hardwired to the fate of their perpetrators. I'll be happy to discuss more when we talk after. Thanks very much.